Have you ever wondered why we are given a chance to be born? Have you ever searched the true meaning of your existence? What are your experiences? Is it happiness, loneliness, joy, or experiencing tragedy? Our present situation is a chaotic one, but we don't need to be afraid. Instead, let us take this as an opportunity for us to have a journey from within. And for sure, you will realize that we are born to love, and we ought to love and be loved. And with that solid love, we will be able to conquer the difficulties and challenges of life. Let me share with you the story of Father Joseph Galdon, S.J., entitled Listen for Love. There are times when we are timid and shy about expressing the love we feel, for fear of embarrassing the other person or ourselves. We hesitate to say the actual words, "I love you." So we try to communicate the idea in other words. We say, "Take care," or "Don't drive too fast," or "Be good." But really, these are just other ways of saying, "I love you. You are important to me. I care what happens to you. I don't want you to get hurt." We are sometimes very strange people. We only think we want to say, and the one thing that we should say is the one thing that we don't say. And yet, because the feeling is so real and the need to say is so strong, we are driven to use other words and signs to say what really mean. And many times, the meaning never gets communicated at all, and the other person is left feeling unloved and unwanted. Therefore, we have to listen for love in the words that people are saying to us. Sometimes the explicit words are necessary, but more often, the manner of saying the things is even more important. A joyous insult, or even cariño brutal, carries more affection and love with it than sentiments which are expressed insincerely. An impulsive hug says, "I love you," even though the words might be saying something very different. Any expression of a person's concern for another says, "I love you." Sometimes the expression is clumsy, sometimes even cruel. Sometimes we must look and listen very intently for the love that is contained. But it is often there, beneath the surface. A mother may nag her son constantly about his grades or cleaning his room. The son may hear only the nagging, but if he listens carefully, he will hear the love underneath the nagging. His mother wants him to dwell, to be successful. Her concern and love for her son unfortunately emerged in her nagging, but it is love all the same. A daughter comes home late, way past her curfew, and her father confronts her with angry words. The daughter may hear only the anger, but if she listens carefully, she will hear the love under the anger. "I was worried about you," the father is saying, "because I care about you and I love you. You are important to me." We say "I love you" in many ways, with birthday gifts and little notes, with smiles and sometimes with tears. Sometimes we show our love with tears. Sometimes by keeping quiet and not saying a word, and sometimes by speaking out brusquely. We show our love sometimes in gentleness, sometimes by thoughtfulness, sometimes by impulsive. Many times we show our love by forgiving someone who has not listened to the love we have tried to express. The problem in listening for love is that we don't always understand the language of love which the other person is using. A girl may use a tears or emotion to say what she wants to say, and her boyfriend may not understand her because he expects her to be talking his language. The problem with our world is that people rarely listen to each other. They hear the words, but they don't listen to the action that accompany the words or the expression of the face. Or people listen only for rejection or misunderstanding. They do not see the love there was just beneath the surface, even if the words are angry. Simon Garfunkel wrote that very haunting song, The Sound of Silence, and it goes, 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared because no one dared disturb the sound of silence. It is a terrifying picture of our modern world, a world without communication of love. We have to listen for love in those around us. If we listen intently, we will discover that we are a lot more loved than we realized. We have to listen for God's love. Thomas Merton says that God's essence is to speak. Ours is to listen. We get all confused and discouraged and think that even God has abandoned us and does not love us anymore, simply because we do not listen closely enough for His love. It is there in the people, in circumstances, in situation, if we can only hear it. So, listen for love, and we will find that the world is a very loving place after all.